welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now if you are like someone like me who is struggling with maths, or if you don't know how to solve math problems, or if it's coming on your nightmare, then you're in the right place, because I'm going to be sharing with you guys some tips and tricks of how to solve math problems and how to remember them. So let's get started. Now with that mindset, you can solve every math problem very easily, like it's a piece of cake for you guys. But the most important tip that you must keep in your mind is to say loudly with all the power inside you, with everything, like, I have to say, just shout with your stomach outside, is math is easy for me. It's a piece of cake for me. I can solve it just as like in a minute, and it's like a fun game. Say it to yourself. Now, if you don't tell it to yourself that math is easy for me loudly, and if you start feeling shy, then you're gonna get back to your old self and just be like, math is very hard for me. The math is gonna turn as a demon and just gonna follow you everywhere, and also in your nightmares it's gonna come. I don't think you really want that, right? So in the last minute, no one's gonna come and change your life and tell that math is very easy and just gonna do it. You just have to believe it in yourself. Super easy for me. You can solve any sum. Now, first of all, you have got a very sum which is easy, you might say, but you don't know how to solve it. You don't know the actual sum. You don't know how the formula and everything. So then, suddenly you will get frightened. You'll get very afraid and be like, I don't know how to solve this. It's such a very bad thing. I seriously don't know what is happening. But then suddenly you find this help book in your friend, and then you just see the exact thing and write it down in your classwork. And then the next time you try to do that sum, the thing is that you're pretty much copying. You're not understanding the sum. So what are you going to do if it's coming in your exam? You don't know how to do it. You just know how to write it down, but you never understood the sum actually. So you should never copy, and you should never cram math. Cramming is the worst thing that you can do for math. As I just said right now, you have done it, but what did you understand? What did you understand and everything? You just understand how to copy and cram math. Other than that, nothing, right? So that's what I'm trying to tell. Don't do it. Pretty much if you do that, it's gonna be stuck with you for the whole life. It's gonna be like how a spider is stuck to a spider web, something like that. To know the secret, it's time to know the pretty much what I call is learning plus solution oriented mindset. So first things first, I'm gonna be showing you guys if you're trying to learn a sum, you learned it, but you have to find a solution of it. So now how to do it, I'm gonna share a quick tip with you guys. Let's say that you cannot solve, you don't know any of the math formulas, and you don't know how to solve them too, and you just can't remember the order and everything. But that's okay, because when you start doing this type of method, it's gonna be very easy, and you'll be understanding and remembering them every single time. So if you have an exam of this chapter, then you can just go through it. Now you have a doubt, you have a doubt and you have to get it clarified, and then you have to just do nothing, not ask your teacher or anything, but you have made a note of the same exact chapter on your own. So just go through it, because that's the benefit of making the own book, because your doubts will be clarified fast and easy. And why, you might be wondering? Because you just made the whole chapter yourself, so what more doubts will you have? Because you have got all your doubts clarified in that only though. Okay, so now moving to the next tab. Now you have a new chapter, and then you have all the formulas written on it. So you can make the formulas, and which I love to do is write in a fun color paper, right up with the sketch pens up of it, and then stick it and wherever you study, or wherever you study a particular a plain wall you have, just stick it there. If you have a notice board like me, or a bulletin board, then stick it, pin it on it. So that will be easy. Okay, so now whenever you have stick up the paper in front of you, then it will be easy for you to understand the formulas, and you won't get confused by doing any sum, and then you won't get confused of which sum to go set, where, or which formula to go to which sum. It will be all set in your mind. Each chapter you have example sums, and it is very important to go to the example sums, because example sums are pretty much the whole chapter. It has all sums of it, and to test you, you will have exercise sums, right, exercise 2.1 or something like that. So you have to go through the example sums. It's very important to go through it, because consider that thing that is the chapter, and that is the things of the chapter. And then if you have to test yourself, then go through the exercise sums. The most important hack and tip of math is to practice at least one chapter a day, or at least like whatever you have revised, whatever your mom said, just to revise that. Because whenever you're doing the other sums as well, then it's gonna be easy for you. You'll be like, oh, I did it yesterday, so I remember the formula very well, and then you'll be doing it. So each formula you'll be genius in it, and then each sum you'll be very genius in it. The most basic logic of math is that when you have learned back when we were like small, or like when we were in LKG, we learn numbers, right? We learn numbers, then we learn addition, multiplication, subtraction, then like LCM, then prime numbers, and then composite numbers, then division, long division, all of those stuff. We've learned all of those stuff, and till now they are the basic logic, and they are the basic things as well. Like numbers, if you don't know numbers, then you don't know anything of math. Like you cannot do anything of math till now. This is completely basic, and when you get to know everything, you can solve one sum. Okay, so right now you have just solved a math question of your own, a math answer on your own. You have did it. Might be you've done it by the trial and error method, from which you can pretty much solve so many sums with. Because it's better when you learn from your mistakes. People say learn from your mistakes. That's what you're doing in the sum. You did one sum, half of it's correct and half of it's wrong. You're going on seeing what's wrong, and I feel like for me, that's what happens. When you're going on seeing the wrong ones, you get to see the other things as well, like what you have done wrong, other like not seeing like the main thing, but then also the other things as you see. Then moving on to the formulas you do very good on it. And also, once Einstein said, imagination is more powerful than knowledge. You might be wondering, huh? What are you talking about? I didn't get you. So, now normally whenever you do a sum, you don't just normally, oh yeah, that's like how you do it. You don't keep a sum just like that. But you just imagine, like, okay, so if I do the sum, will the answer come? Or if you're just doing some addition or subtraction in your brain, like if you don't want to do it in the paper, if it's not allowed to do it in the paper, you just do it in your brain. So you're imagining so well. And also, by the trial and error method, you can also get all the formulas memorized. And then your teacher gives you any method, you have just learned that method, and she gives you just do this homework and show me tomorrow. Then use the trial and error method. It will be super duper easy for you, and as you're going on to it, you understand each one of the things, oh, I did it wrong, then I have to do it again and again and again, and it'll just stuck in your mind for forever and ever. Next time that a teacher gives you any question to do it as a homework, just don't feel like, oh, it's gonna be hard, but use the trial and error method. It's just gonna be super duper easy, because you're gonna go and see the answer again and again to do, and then you're gonna be seeing what I did wrong and what I did right. When you do right, you'll have the satisfaction, but what you did wrong, you will though feel a little sad, but don't feel like that, because you're gonna feel like, okay, I'm gonna do it again. And also the other thing is, whenever you're having a homework and you have to do the correct sum, you can cross out and do it again and again. Do it in a rough book first, and then do it in the actual class, if you're doing it, because it's gonna look dirty. And also, you can just flip up and see, oh, this is how I did it, now I understood. So now you have done the formulas every single day, and one day it just hits you like, this is so hard, I cannot never get this in my mind. It just is not good, but still you're studying. But if you want it the more easier way, then I might tell you, make a list in your book of all formulas, and then slowly your knowledge of math will start growing and growing like the arrow that goes up every single time, like that. And then I'll just keep it here, but then it will be just growing and growing every single time, and then you will finally get what you wanted. As I say every single time, slow and steady always wins the race. Okay, so whenever you solve a math sum very fast, just in a minute, then the same sum, it takes some time for you to solve it. That means that your brain is active when you solved it in a minute. You didn't get me, right? Whenever you play a physical activity before you do any studying, like throw a ball to the wall, or just play badminton or do cycling or stuff like that, it's gonna help you to solve your sum very fast, and also your brain will be so active that all the addition and subtraction you have to do, your answer will be in your mind in 1 minute. For the video, guys, I've shared all the things with you guys how I study maths, not like hacks and tips only, but all the ideas which you can convert them on yourself, you can use them for yourself, and hopefully it's been easy for you guys. Comment down below and see you guys next time. Bye.